You got it?
Sir, you see it?
Yep.
Give it just a second.
So take a swig of that water. It's wet water. I don't want no water.
All right. Go ahead. We live, sir.
All right. Want to welcome everyone to Sports Fan Talk on GLX Sports. I am your humble host, Big G.
I am. I'm just North Carolina Mike tonight. We're gonna say it. We're gonna say the Sports Talk Mike, but I'm North Carolina Mike tonight.
What's up? This is Big Shan back in the house again.
And you know who it is, man. It's your dog, Young Architect.
Yes, fellas. Well, we got a nice little full plate tonight. And we're going to start it off. We're going to start off light. Then we're going to go heavy a little later on. We'll start off with the NCAA tournament since it's fresh. The final teams play today. So we have a Final Four matchup. And it's all blue bloods. All the blue bloods is getting down for the Final Four. You got North Carolina versus Duke. And then in the other game, we got Kansas versus Villanova. It's going to be some tough ball games, fellas. You know what I mean? First, just let me know what you think of the teams and who you think is going to win each game. We'll start it off with the architect.
Looking at it now, like I said earlier, I think, between Kansas and Villanova, I got Villanova winning that one, man. I think that's going to be a good game. But between Duke and UNC, I think Duke fighting for that pride. And as much as I believe, UNC is a solid basketball team, I think Duke is going to go ahead and take that one, man. I'm going to go ahead and rock with Duke. So I got Duke and Villanova.
Okay. Big Shan, what you got in that one?
I'm saying, man, I mean, after Gonzaga lost to, Arkansas, and then Duke just, man, chopped them up, man, just made them look like hamburger meat. So I got Duke and figure Villanova going to do it as well. So that's my picks right there.
Okay, Duke Villanova. Sports Talk, Mike.
Carolina. North Carolina tonight. But anyway, my take on it is this. I have to take Villanova over Kansas. I just think that they have a better team. But they have to prove it. And also, I'm a diehard North Carolina fan, but I want to pick Duke. I mean, that's like a cardinal sin for me to go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? For me to go against the grain with North Carolina. But you know what? I'm gonna stick with my guns. I mean, I do believe that Duke has all the motivation to win this game because they want to send their coach out on top. But it is our job and our duty to send them out a little short. So, if I'm going to tell you I'm going to pick, but if Duke win the game, I won't be surprised because they are a higher seed. But I thought about it for a few seconds. I got to go with North Carolina because it's my team. And if they don't win, I'm not mad because they want to send out the old coach on top, send them out on top. But I got to take Carolina.
If you want to crown them, crown their ass.
All right. Well, in that case, I was going to be a lone wolf on that one. I'm going Carolina myself, man. I watched Roach off that point, and then they got the bigs down low. They got Manic, you know what I'm saying? They got Baycott. So I'll roll with them Tar Heels. And the most athletic, the toughest, and the roughest team I've seen in the tournament so far is Villanova. So I'm going with them Cats. So who do you guys think is going to take it off? You know what I mean? You got your picks. We ain't going to even explain. Who you got? You chose your final two. Who gonna win it? Big Shan, who you got?
Man, look, after what I've seen, I'm not gonna be surprised.
Yeah, just pick a team, man. Just who you got? You gonna team, that's it.
Duke, take it off.
Who?
Duke.
All right, you got Duke. Young Architect.
I'm have to roll with Duke as well, man. I think Duke gonna take it.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Carolina Mike.
I got to take Carolina West. We're gonna take Carolina. Do win it all.
Carolina. I got Villanova, man. I got Villanova. And with that said, y'all, that was the nice little appetizer for everybody. Warm it up. We're gonna move on and get to what we want to talk about. Let's see. Let's get in. Let's start with a bang. Let's talk Tyreke Hill, Tua, and the Dolphins. What do we think about that? Let's start it off with Sports Talk, Mike. What do you got? I know you like Tua, man.
I like Tua. I liked him since he came out of Alabama. But what I think is getting a receiver like Tyreke Hill is going to open that passing game. It was going to open it up for all the receivers because they're going to have to pay special attention, close attention to him. He may be getting doubled a lot, and Waddle will be open, and Gesicki, the tight end. They got some weapons over. I don't know if Devontae Parker's still there. If he's still there, then they got, they're going to be.
They're thinking about trading him.
Well,
yeah, they're thinking about trading him.
Well, they shouldn't. They need all the help they can get. They ain't that good. They need a tall receiver. They can't just have too short,
Yeah, two little guys.
I think that that helps them out tremendously. Tyreke Hill then shifted the power over there a little bit over. They're not going to beat Buffalo, but I think they've been beating the Patriots. I think they're going to keep that tradition going. But
yeah,
I think that he is an excellent addition to their team. And since he is from Florida or Miami, I didn't know Tyreke Hill was from there, but he is. So he just went back home is all he did, Kansas City gave him his walking papers. They gave him walking papers like they gave Jonesy his walking papers on life. Anyway, that's it. That's how I feel about
it. Okay. I see it. I like that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Architect. What do you think?
I think this is going to affect Kansas City more than it benefits Miami. I think Kansas City is losing, obviously, the most dynamic receiver in the league. You know what I'm saying? I think all in all, we're going to see Patrick Mahomes rely more on Travis Kelce more than ever this year than he ever has because he doesn't have that solidified number one. Obviously, he has Juju, but Juju, we all know he's not that number one type of guy. He's not that guy who's you can someone necessarily rely on. But I think Miami also on the flip side, I mean, shit, they got the track team out there. I'm saying at the receiver as far as receiving core and running back. I think Tua's going to excel at what he's been doing, and that's been accurate. You know what I'm saying? I think Tyreek Hill's the type of receiver you can throw him a slant and he could take it to the house. And I think Tua's going to benefit from that, immensely. I think Miami, I think they'll be a better team, but I also think this is more of a ploy into kind of showing that Tua's going to be okay at quarterback in Miami going forward.
Okay, interesting. Nick Shan, what you got on it?
I think it was it's interesting because Tyreke is a playmaker, so like this is going to be a hell of a year for Tua to kind of prove himself, and I think it's more of a slight to prove that it wasn't about Brian Flores. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, we were winning organization without that man, and I'm like, not necessarily, but you get Tyreke over there. He's a playmaker after the fact. He catch the ball, make some things happen, do some incredible catches on top of that. And then what is this? This Tua's fourth year?
No, third.
Third year?
Third? Okay.
Third. But this should be his coming into his manhood type year for him. You know what I mean? So it's going to be one of those make or break type things. And I agree with Architect, man. I think, I don't know what Kansas City was thinking. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got Juju, but like it's kind of like Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? And then they're gonna have to rely on Kelce. What he does amazing stuff, but still, man, if you got a deep threat like Tyreke back there, you're doing things, and that's what they've been doing the last few years, with them. So it's gonna be interesting to see, but I think it's twofold. It's kind of like it wasn't about Brian Flores. So they spent the money because all of a sudden Tyreek's the highest paid player, but does the Dolphins really have the offense that they need to go to the Super Bowl to finish where Brian started?
Okay. I like that. But I'm going to tell you guys exactly what Kansas City was thinking. There's never been a slot receiver that ever made money like an X receiver. X receiver being a guy like Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, an actual X receiver who's out there wide getting it done. You know what I mean? This is unprecedented. You know what I mean? As far as Tyreke Hill being in the slot, being as big of a playmaker as he is. And KC was just like, and the Super Bowl against the Bucks, they didn't score a touchdown, man. You know what I mean? And basically what the Bucks did, they were like, you know what? We all gonna kick back here and let you catch everything in front of us, and we ain't letting Tyreke go deep. You're not getting it done. So Kansas City kind of had to look at that, where teams are like, now that's the strategy. You know what I mean? We'll take him away and have you dink and dunk, which is crazy because what does Tua do well?
Dink and fucking dunk. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Very accurately. So it's kind of a good fit for Miami. But as far as Kansas City's return, or as far as they're concerned, we'll have to see. You know, Mahomes last year, he had more interceptions than he had the previous 2 years combined. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't know what it's going to look like them going forward. I think they believe that the system is better than the players. Just like the Patriots believe their system was better than the players. Believe you could plug anybody in and do things, but I think they're going to find out and have a rude awakening, because they went, to me, from being maybe the best team in AFC West to maybe the second or third team. So
shit, they might be the last.
So do you think Andy Reid has his eye on somebody in the draft? That's why he went after them little picks and whatnot?
Well, they always do. You know what I mean? Look at Kansas City's history. Yeah, Tyreek Hill is an evolution of Dante Hall. He's an evolution of, what's that dude's name that came from Oregon that they had? DeAnthony Thomas.
Anthony Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's Kansas City. That's their breed.
So that goes to your point about they believe in the system more than the player.
Okay, so remember this. When they drafted Mecole Hardman, he was going to originally replace Tyreke Hill because Tyreke Hill was going through all that legal trouble.
Yeah.
Now I wonder what his role is going to look like now that he's probably going to be more looked at as in the Tyreke role. Obviously, he's not Tyreke Hill, but they're going to look to him because now he's their fastest receiver. He is the receiver that is their quote unquote most versatile outside of Travis Kelce.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing, but Mecole Hardman is no Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Not even close. Not even the same class.
Not happening. You know what I'm saying? So we will see. I just believe that Kansas City, I think they'll be okay. Because, you know, without Hill, when he didn't play, Mahomes still put up good numbers, but you need that threat. He's like the ultimate threat. So, and Mecole Hardman, he can't catch like freaking Tyreek Hill. He can't move. He can't shake like him. None of that. He's very fast. Don't get me wrong.
Mecole Hardman is more of a straight line runner. Tyreek Hill, he catching, he gone. You know what I'm saying?
Now defenses could kind of relax because they're like, oh, you don't have that deep threat. You don't have that, make a move after the fact. So.
As far as Tua's concerned, I mean, shoot, you're going to have freaking Tyreek Hill. You got Waddle. You got Mustard in the backfield. You got Chase Edmonds in the backfield. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got Devontae Walker or Parker.
Three of those guys run sub 4.40s. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Then, like Mike said, he got Gesicki. He got weapons.
Gesicki. I've been talking about Gesicki for a minute. He's a young up and coming tight end. He's gonna be solid. You know what I'm saying?
They got weapons. He'd be like he had Alabama again.
That's what I'm saying. There's no excuses. And Miami got a decent defense, so we shall see. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see. So moving right along, let's see what up we got next, man. You know what? Let's go on to Baker, man. What's going on with Baker Mayfield, y'all?
Boy.
Gotta see. Big Shan, you lead us off on this one, man. What do you think of that?
I think that man's at home sweating bullets, bro. You know what I mean? Like he's like, damn, just like that. I mean, because what did he have last year? You know, his season was just kind of horrible. And then what was it the backup quarterback that came up and shined behind better than him in a couple games that he played?
Oh, yeah, Keenum. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I know Baker's over there like, oh my God, the secret's out, man. You know what I mean? So he better hope, like, what is Seahawks? They didn't sign anybody, right?
Not yet.
So it's either Seahawks or Carolina, man. You know, I think he'd be better off going with the Seahawks because, they're in a little rebuilding thing and it's not going to be as much pressure on him over there. It's going to be more pressure on himself than the whole team. But if he goes to Carolina, they're like, hey, man, we're trying to do something over here, man. And they can't rely on the 10 man. What's his name? The running back.
Oh, what were you talking about? McCaffrey?
Yeah, McCaffrey, man. Like, he's an explosive back if he's healthy, but he don't stay healthy. Like young architects say, man, he might be hurt in the third game. And then how long is he going to be out for? So then it all folds back onto Baker's Mayfield, and he folds a little bit, man. So he might as well go over there with Pete Carroll and try to, hey Pete, you and me got something to prove, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's work this out together.
All right, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Sports talk. Yeah, I feel funny calling you sports. I gotta think it's something else to call you.
You just call me Raider Mike then if y'all want to. But anyway, when you get down,
it's okay. No, I think the Lakers won tonight. I'll call you Laker Mike.
Yeah, we did win, but it don't mean nothing to me. But what I personally think, he went from an employed employee to an unemployed employee just that fast. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield. I think the market for him is just shriveled up like some pork bacon in a skillet. Like shriveled up. So he ain't got very much, choices right now. He at the mercy of somebody wanting to bring him in right now. And the way that he went out and the way he just acted, he wasn't too classy, I don't think. But I think he would fit Carolina better because they got some pieces to work with, and they're not in a rebuild mode. They're in a trying to win now mode, and he would give them the best, opportunity to win over Sam Darnold. I will say that Baker Mayfield may have underperformed, underachieved, but he ain't underachieved that bad to where Sam Darnold is starting and going to be replaced in a couple of weeks versus Baker Mayfield sitting at home waiting for somebody to call him. That wouldn't be right. He's better than that,
But that was kind of the position he was in with the Browns, though.
No, that was at the end. When he first got there, he was not in that position. They thought the world of him when they first got him. That was just because he was injured and he didn't play good. Year before,
the world of him, but he didn't start coming in.
But
Tyrod Taylor did.
But
that's because Hugh Jackson knew.
They got rid of Tyrod Taylor because you know why? You know why they got rid of Tyrod Taylor? He outperformed Tyrod Taylor, I suppose, in the preseason, when he was playing. And I said, Tyrod Taylor is gone. All Tyrod Taylor is on anybody's team is just to get the other person ready. That's it. He is there for nothing.
He's a better version of Alex Smith.
That's all he is. Well, he might not even be. Alex Smith was playing. He didn't get.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know. He ain't know he's a worser version. Alex Smith got to go to another team after he got demoted.
See, that's the disrespect behind, but that's a whole nother conversation. The disrespect behind Tyrod Taylor.
On Tyrod Taylor, and I think he's better than that. He's better than that. But like I said, Baker Mayfield, I think he's better suited to go to Carolina. They have a defense, they have some running game, they have a couple of wide receivers. I think it would be better than going to Seattle because Seattle's not playing this year to win. They're playing for more draft picks. And I can tell you that. That's what I got to say on that. I wish him well.
But let me get my spiel on this because you're saying that like he actually has a choice.
He don't have a choice. I just told you he don't have a choice. I told you he's at whoever's mercy that wants to bring him in.
But I was saying that last statement, but let me run it back a little bit. Even last week, Big Shan said something about chickens coming home to roost, right? Now I'm gonna run that back again. This here is the chickens coming home to roost on Mr. Mayfield. Because remember 2 years ago, running back by the name of Duke Johnson had a little trade request, right? In which after that, the Browns drafted Nick Chubb, and then they acquired Kareem Hunt. Right. And, usually teammates stand up for each other. They have each other's back. But Baker Mayfield said, you're either with us or you're not with us. And this train is running. And if you don't get on the train's leaving without you. So now I guess the Browns got Deshaun Watson and the train's leaving without him. So sometimes you got to watch what you say, man. You know what I mean? And it's not, I don't have a dislike for Baker Mayfield or anything like that. I think he's an overachiever. I think he's maximized his talent. And I think he's a good quarterback. But I think it was a disservice for him to be drafted number one. You know what I mean? Because I don't think he was that good. That's like last week I told you guys, I was like, the Colts, there's no way they should take Baker Mayfield because they have a Cadillac, Lamborghini, whatever nice car you want to name, they have that team. But they need a driver in the car who's going to get them where they need to be, possibly the Super Bowl.
They need
You know what I'm saying?
Mario Andretti to drive that car.
And you know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield is not that guy. Matty Ice, you can say he's been to Pro Bowls, he's been MVP, you know what I'm saying? Been to Super Bowl. I trust him more than I trust Baker Mayfield. You know what I'm saying? So
I do too. I'll do it.
What I think is his best bet is the Seahawks. I mean, it's a stopgap situation, which he can make the best of, but Seattle is like this. Seattle is like, we like Drew Lock. And guess what? We want to re-sign Geno Smith. So they're waiting to do stuff. Just think of that.
Right.
Baker Mayfield was the number 1 pick in the draft. And Seattle is like not trying to make a move with him until they re-sign Geno and have everything settled down with Lock. So it's going to be tough for that dude, man. I don't know.
So I'll tell you,
but
like,
you know what? Guess what, though? Guess who else is out there?
I was about to say,
Nobody tripping off of
Jimmy G.
Cam Newton. Cam Newton's still out there. He's a free agent.
So I pose the question. I pose the question to y'all. Then I pose this question to y'all: does that make Baker Mayfield a bust?
Well, that's
He's gonna get picked up before Cam do. I can tell you that. Cam is
but like
Cam
with all the hype,
damaged goods. Cam is damaged.
Baker Mayfield does this make Baker Mayfield a bust? Seeing that nobody seems like nobody wants to pick him up.
Nobody's tripping off getting him, man. He's not a priority to anyone.
Exactly. His leadership is in question. And then you got to remember,
I think that's his biggest thing. I agree.
His leadership is in question. And you got to remember, too, I'm not saying he's a stellar quarterback, but Jimmy G's still out there. You know what I'm saying?
He just had surgery, man. Ain't nobody tripping off him.
And look, if you look at the comments,
he got to be 100%. He ain't
surgery on his
check out the comments real quick. Thaisa said, and I agree with her as much as I don't like to agree with it, but she said Cam Newton is done, and I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He out there, Gregory. He's gonna stay out there.
Like, I'm gonna keep it a beat. I'm gonna keep it a beat. His last chance at being a quarterback was in Carolina when they re-signed him. And Carolina, they didn't get much improvement. He had that one big moment when he scored that touchdown in Atlanta, talking about I'm back. And you haven't heard nothing since.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Well, he's damaged goods. They beat him up. They messed Cam up. I blame them. They overworked.
But I also blame Cam for that as well. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, you can blame the league for that.
I'm gonna pose a question to you guys, man. Let me pose this question. Day one, NFL starts season. Who's Baker Mayfield the quarterback for, man? Just everybody give me a team.
I'll say Carolina.
I'll
still say Carolina.
If you think about it, Carolina is just like what he had last year. You know what I mean? He had.
Who do you think he's gonna play for?
Seattle.
Okay, Seahawks. Architect.
He gonna be sitting at home.
For real?
Yep.
No one, huh?
That boy sitting at home.
I mean, Drew Luck and Geno.
You said starting, right? Starting or just playing in general?
Let's just say what roster he's gonna be on. What roster is he gonna be on? Day one.
Shit, fuck. I don't know because I don't see him playing for anybody. So I'm gonna stick with what I said. He's sitting at home.
Sitting at home.
No, we didn't think about the wild card, Gregory. Shit, the enemy. Pittsburgh. I wouldn't.
Fuck. Hey, man. See, look, I agree with Thaisa.
I'm gonna say Pittsburgh, Greg. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh.
You gonna go to Pitt?
Let's just go Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go with Steelers because Trubisky. I mean, Darnold and Trubisky.
Trash.
Come on,
absolutely.
Both of them.
You know what?
Yeah. I'll say I changed my whole thing. Pittsburgh. Let's see. He's gonna be on that roster.
I'm gonna switch
by week 3.
I'm gonna switch mine up too. I'm gonna go ahead and go along with Thaisa. She said she's gonna be backing up Tom Brady. I agree because that's where my mind was going.
What, huh?
You know what?
I agree.
You know what?
I heard that rumor.
Yeah, I was gonna say a few weeks ago there was rumor that they were trying to go with Baker Mayfield before Tom Brady said he was back. And it was like, why would you do that?
Hey man,
Look, because honestly, I don't think Baker Mayfield is a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. He can't command a room.
It's that leadership piece, man.
I think he could learn, but you know what I mean? It all depends. Depends on which way he's gonna go, man.
He need that De Niro speech, huh? I mean, that Al Pacino speech any given Sunday. Son, you got to the team.
Before we couldn't have the heater on earlier, but now it's gotten hot up in here. He busted out, man. You know what I'm saying? See, I had the A's thing on. Got the A's thing, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't gonna
Got
be
the
there too much
A's
longer.
blinds, if you can see it. Yeah.
This boy's gonna be rocking.
Hey, I don't know how much longer
Las
I'll be
Vegas.
A's
You gonna be a Las Vegas Athletics fan? Shit.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna be like my homie over there who just gave up on everything when the Raiders left.
Oh, I know.
Still be
Damn. Yeah, he done went bad. He just went totally bad and divorced the ass. That nigga went and took all his property. He went and took all the property away and everything.
A lot of cats did that, man. I'm like, bro, man, they was Raiders, they was Oakland Raiders before they was anything else, man.
Yeah, man. Let's keep
That's
this
why they
train
call it
rolling.
Raiders.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna talk a little about Deion Sanders and his team. 10 NFL teams didn't show up for the Jackson State Pro Day. Damn, that was jacked.
Too.
You know what I'm saying? That was not cool. Architect, lead us off on this one, man. What's the deal with that, brother?
I think I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna list out some of the teams, you know what I'm saying? And one of these teams I'm really surprised that you had the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Texans, the Bills, the Bucks, the Panthers, the Browns, the Vikings, the Eagles, and my most shocking team that didn't show up, the Ravens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too. I was shocked at that.
I'm so shocked that, at least the Ravens, just because of how they have been historically, you know what I'm saying, as far as black players.
Deion played for them too for a year.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I say it like this, man. I think that only wasn't a slight to Deion, but that was a slight to these players saying that we don't believe that you're good enough.
Right.
But I mean, shit, you look at what he said, like Deion said, and he quoted, and this is a direct quote. I guarantee you that they're going up to Mississippi State and Ole Miss.
Oh yeah.
You can't tell me I couldn't name 10 players from Mississippi State or Ole Miss that can guarantee to go to the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing was, Jackson State's in Mississippi, and in order to get to Ole Miss, Mississippi State, you got to pass.
You got to go. Yeah, exactly. And I was alluding to that. You know what I'm saying? My thing is like this, right? You look at Jackson State. Yeah, they're at HBCU. Yeah, they're a smaller college, but ain't no way in hell you can't tell me that at least 10 to 15 of those players aren't an NFL caliber type of player just based off of athleticism. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, so what?
Ain't nobody.
70% of the league is black.
Exactly. Can't nobody tell me.
So
you know what I'm saying? You look at historically, some of the greatest players in NFL history have come from black colleges. You know what I'm saying? One of the best linebackers in the league, in Darius Leonard, he came from a black college and he playing in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me 10 of these teams chose not to come because of what? You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't think they're talented enough, you don't think they're smart enough, whatever the case is. And we all have our our ideas in our mind of why it happened. We don't necessarily know the exact answer, but at the end of the day, why not come? Why not just see? You know what I'm saying? That kind of irks my nerves. You know what I'm saying? That kind of irks my nerves just as an avid sports fan, someone who watches, multiple levels of athletics, whether that be high school, college, pros, whatever. Because you're not giving someone a shot, but you'll take someone who probably doesn't deserve to be in the NFL. Versus someone who let me say it like this, how they say it in the draft. This guy has a lot of heart.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Heart ain't gonna get you nowhere for real. Heart can get you only so far. Let me not say it won't get you nowhere. It will get you only so far. But that talent and athleticism, it'll take you a whole lot further, regardless.
What did everybody say? Everybody has potential. A tree
That's what I got to say about it, man. I think all in all, I think them 10 teams, they're sending out a signal or a sign, whatever you want to call it. They showing their ass.
Yeah. There you go. That's the best way to sum it up. You know what I mean? And let me go next on this, man. You know, I'm just going to read off a couple of names. You may have heard of these guys before. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. One, Jerry Rice, Mississippi Valley State. Michael Strahan, Texas Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon Sharp, Savannah State.
Yep.
Art Shell, Maryland Eastern Shore. Richard Dent, Tennessee State. Steve McNair, Alcorn State. Doug Williams, Grambling. All players who are pretty damn good who went to
Didn't
HBCU.
Walter Payton go to a HBCU?
He went to Jackson. He went to Jackson State.
Yeah,
He went
Walter
to Jackson
Payton.
State, so we forgot about that. And Charles Mann went to James Madison.
Yeah,
The
I mean, we
list
can
goes
keep
on.
naming.
You know, the list goes on
going
at this
down the
point.
line.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
the talent is there. You know what I'm saying? And why these teams did not show up, they're gonna have egg on their face for this later. Because Deion, what he's doing, you know, he started something where other players are starting now to kind of join him. You know what I mean? Eddie George is a coach for HBCU too.
At
You know what I'm
Memphis.
saying?
Hugh Jackson is that head coach at
Yeah,
Grambling.
Jackson. That's what I'm saying. More players. I heard Tyrone Wheatley took a job down at HBCU as a coach. So the thing is, these 10 teams are behind the damn curve. I don't know why the Ravens, like you said, the other teams don't surprise me. The Bills, Panthers, Browns, Broncos, Texans, especially the Texans,
Especially
the Dolphins also, and the Vikings. They're in Minnesota. They're called the Vikings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the Bucks. These, you know, I'm not surprised at these teams. And I knew Dallas would be there for the simple fact that Deion probably hollered at Jerry. He was like, "Hey, I need somebody down here." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, why those teams did not show up, I don't know, but they're going to see in the future. They'll be there because the sad fact of it is these bastards will go where the talent is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they don't think, oh, I'm not really tripping off of that, but watch, when that one player comes through who's going to be better than all those other players, you know what I'm saying? He may look at this and be like, oh, the Ravens are looking at me, huh? You guys didn't even show up to pro day the first time, man. I don't really want to get down with you, you know? So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? That's my spill on it. You know what I mean? Laker Mike, Sports Talk Mike, Raider Mike, what you got to say?
Well, all I got to say on it is this. Their excuses, they was in the car talking too much and they passed the exit. They went past Jackson State exit. So they had to mosey on down to Mississippi State. They said, we were talking and we was in deep concentration and we missed the exit. They said, we're concentrating. But my thing is, you know, I just feel that it's wrong, and there is plenty of talent at these black colleges. There's proof. Look at the Hall of Famers that came out of these black colleges, and I just think that it's a knock on those teams. There's no excuse for not sending somebody from your organization just to go check it out. You just might find something there. Something more than you may find at one of the other colleges. Big things come in small packages. So you might as well went down there once you on that damn freeway, on that highway, and went down there and checked out these players, because the NFL is as if not one thing, it's another. It's always something. You know, y'all make always something y'all doing wrong. What is wrong with the black college? That's my question to you, all those 10 teams that did not show up. What was your reason? And you need to tell everybody. Let's hear the lies. Let's hear the excuses. Now, the good one, you can just say you just missed the exit to me. I mean, you know, I'm not going to exit, you know. But I think from Deion being there and all those former professional players and coaches is just going to open this up to more. It's going to get bigger. It's going to be more people coming out to watch them now, because they're going to force them to come out there. They're going to be forced to come out there because the talent is there. They cannot deny that. And the NFL needs to just jump on the boat. It's already 74%, 5% of black players. So just jump on the damn boat, man, and stop playing. And y'all
Just come home. Just come home.
Just come home, and y'all protecting that shield, Rodell, whatever. I don't care what you doing. Y'all need to get down there to Jackson State, Grambling State. You need to get to these black colleges and give these young men at least a look. You might find something there that you like. That's all I got to say about it. That's my take on it. I just don't like that.
All right, young Shanny Shan, what you got on that, man?
I mean, it's like way disgusting, man. I'm glad Deion called it out. You know what I mean? Because look what he's done with that program. Look what he's done with this prep going into that program, right? And then some reporters will argue, well, the Broncos and the Dolphins and the Bills, they already had their squad. They made their move. Maybe they're just waiting to, see what they can get in the second round. It's just like, bro, you had no representation there. That's a hand to the face, man. You had no representation there. Like, you didn't even have an up and coming scout to look at what was going on and say, hey, you need to keep an eye on this guy, make a contact. So if it does come to the second round, that's the guy I was telling you about. There's a sleeper, whatever, and to your point, Big G, those players ain't going to want to play for you. You know what I mean? Like, why would I? Oh, now you just see me as a commodity. You know what I mean? But you don't recognize the fact that we're repping 70 to 75% of this league here. And you don't think just because I went to an all-black college that I don't know how to play the game? Because let's be real, when it comes down to it, it's like, well, are they going to be disciplined enough? Do they know how to play the old boy game in terms of the rules and regulations? Don't look them in the eye type stuff, which I'm sure we're going to talk about later on. But for 10 teams, man, that's a third of the NFL not to show up, man. They're clearly sending a statement, whether they know it or not. And a lot of times people in power don't know the statement that they're making because they're just blind to the fact of the way business has been. And it's like, bruh, this 2022. You know what I'm saying? Now, things ain't moving as fast as we wanted to, but we see what's going on. And that's why I'm so proud of Deion for calling this out, man. And he's the wrong guy that you shouldn't have showed up at his pro day at. The other people, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I get it, coach. You was a little busy, whatever. Not Deion. His name is Prime Time for a reason. So I'm like, okay, we're going to see. And y'all messed up.
All right, man. I like that. I mean, we're moving right along here. I think I want to switch gears a little bit. I mean, I want to this could be a little debatable. I want to keep it short because this subject could go on forever and ever. But we're going to talk about the top 3 most influential basketball players of all time. You know what I'm saying? I'll go first. You know what I mean? My list, I don't think it'll be too surprising. I have 3 guys that I believe they changed the game the way it's played. That's how I viewed it. I didn't want to see who scores the most or who this, who that, all-time lead score, whatever. I want to see who changed the dynamics of the game. So that's my precursor. And with that, number 1, I went with Magic Johnson. So I think Magic, he was an anomaly. There was no such thing as a 6'8" point guard before him. He came in, and also the game was a slow game, station to station. Magic had Showtime, Lakers. He is over there, like Arsenio Hall said, Mike, he said Magic Johnson used to come down on the break, bake some cookies, put the ball behind his back and dish it to somebody for a dunk, to Michael Cooper or something. So, and I was not a Laker fan, but I was drawn into the game of basketball because of Magic Johnson, the way he played. You know what I'm saying? And I learned to hate Larry Bird at that time, but I can appreciate and love his game now. So that was my first. My second is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You know what I'm saying? What could I say? I think Mike, he changed the game. You know what I mean? Because he became the standard for all 2 guards. Like, let's just say somebody put on their list Kobe. Like, man, Kobe want to be like Mike. Say somebody put LeBron. LeBron want to be like Mike. He want to be the GOAT. You know what I mean? I don't care about the fact that Mike was 6 for 6 in titles. Whatever. Who cares? I'm talking about the way the game is played. He changed it. You know what I'm saying? Them cats, anytime you could make somebody have the Jordan rules, they made rules to stop him. You know what I'm saying? That's game changing. So my second, I go with Mike. And my third, I'm going with the babyface assassin because he changed the game to where the game is now.
Yeah.
Now everybody want to shoot threes. You know what I mean? It's not, he didn't invent the three-pointer. Before him, there was Eddie Johnson. You know what I'm saying? There was what's my man's name for the Celtics and the Heat? You know what I'm saying?
Ray Allen. Ray Allen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ray Allen. But those guys were specialists. They, you know what I'm saying? Craig Hodges, those cats were specialty three-point shooters. But Steph, he made it part of his game. You know what I'm saying? Not only did he make it part of his game, but man, the dude was shooting from half court. He was doing this. I mean, the dude was a bad dude. So he changed the way the game was played. Those are my three guys I think changed the game, most influential and all that.
Well, I know
what you got on you got on that, Laker Mike?
Well, like I said, I've been a Laker fan since 1980, and Magic Johnson made me a Lakers fan, but that's not going to be my three. That man made me a Lakers fan. Jerry Buss made me a Lakers fan. I was proud to watch our Lakers sweep up and down the floor on everybody. Magic Johnson was running that middle like a greyhound. You know what I'm saying? He was like a greyhound. Everybody was running to get that bone. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, my three most influential players, and I'm going to give it to you like this. My first one is Wilt Chamberlain. And I'm going to tell you why he changed the rules, the way the game was played. Wilt Chamberlain could not be moved out the key. Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points, mind you, in the game. We can't forget about these old school players. I had to give him some love for changing the game the way he played. Even though I didn't really see Wilt Chamberlain play, I saw highlights of Wilt Chamberlain playing, right?
Yeah. I'll give you that.
And I'm going to say because he was, Wilt Chamberlain, he was great. He was great. And he could have, another reason why I say that, because Wilt Chamberlain could have played in any era. He could have played in this era. He could have played in the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons era and elbowed a few people and knocked a few people down. He could have played in this era with the Warriors. He could have played in any era. That's why I have to put Wilt number one. Wilt is the number one who changed the game because he won 100. He scored 100 points. Ain't nobody else going to do that. Next is Shaquille O'Neal changed the way the game was played for the NBA far as defense and keeping you out the key because remember, they went to the zone defense because of Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq, they went to zone defense to get him out of the key because he was posted up like a mailbox. You know what I'm saying? He was posted up like the mailbox. You thought he was a mailbox. You know what I'm saying? And he just changed.
Don't have none of these, Chuck.
Play his athleticism, his athleticism for a 7'1", 360-pound center. 360 pounds. You know, when he was not in shape, he was 360. The Diesel, they didn't call him Shaq Diesel for nothing. He changed the game because he was agile. He could move. He could rebound, block shots. Shaq did the dirty work. Shaq could bloody up if he had to, like he did Tony Parker in one of them games. They knew what had to be done. Tony Parker came through that hole and he cleaned his ass up. Blood all over the place. And Tony Parker did not play the same that whole series, and my Lakers went and we cruised the victory. So my third most influential player, and and I'm gonna tell you what, I used to think that this guy was a ball hog. I used to think that the guy was a selfish player. I used to think the guy say, we talking about practice, man. Come on, man. Talking about practice. Is Allen Iverson AI. That is my favorite small. He's the best small shooting guard, point guard, whatever you call, in the history of the NBA. And anybody got a problem with me saying that, you're out of your damn mind because he is. He was the truth and he was the answer. Allen Iverson, because he changed the whole culture of the basketball. He came with the tattoos. Yeah. He came with the damn cornrow braids. Allen Iverson came coming to games dressed up like with jeans and a wave cap on his head. Allen Iverson was him. He was being himself. He was being thug, like Thuglicious on Boondocks.
On the Boondocks, yeah.
He was the original Thuglicious. Yeah. They could have called him. They could have been calling Allen Iverson Thuglicious, the original. They got that from Allen Iverson. He brought all of that swag to the NBA, and nobody can take that from him. And another thing I have to say about Allen Iverson, he changed the game because he played every game like it was his last. Whether he was winning by 30 or losing by 30, you would have never knew that what kind of game he was in. And that dude right there, I mean, I have to give it to him. When he was playing with Philly at first, I said, oh, when Derek Coleman and them was complaining, I said, man, y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all not winning though. He had to take it upon himself and put that team on his back and got them to that the finals. If it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even won that one game that they won against my Lakers, which I knew we was gonna get them. I said, because Allen Iverson said we came to win. When Allen Iverson went to that podium after that game, he said we came to win a championship. You know, I said, that's my man right there. I'm like Denzel said, my man.
My man.
You know what I'm saying? Now, Denzel, I had that smirk on my face. I thought about it for a minute and I said, my man. He's going for it now. But anyway, though, that's how I feel. I think that's the guy.
Okay. Young Shan, what you got on that, Big Shan?
I don't argue with none of y'all on none of those, because like all those players came across my head, you know, especially Iverson, you know, because I watched a little doc on him. He'd be iced up. His own mama would be like, there's no way he's playing tonight. But he would manage to play and just throw up points and whatnot. But that being said, when it comes to affluential and changing the game, you know, there's only one that's kind of questionable on my list. And like, I'm not putting them in order, but obviously Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? Because he came in the right era to change up the shoe game, to change up the short game. And he was just awesome. You know what I mean? Name another player that played with the flu and kicked your ass. You know what I mean? MJ, you know what I mean? Name another player who could motivate other players, or name another player who you could piss off and he'd be like, oh, you don't know who I am? Let me show you, right? Obviously, Michael Jordan. But second is definitely Steph Curry, man. You know, because, you know, in the beginning, in 2015, they won that chip. That everybody's like, you know, I remember it was Westbrook, and I think he was, I can't remember who else he was on stage with, and they asked him about Steph Curry's defense, and Westbrook laughed, right? But how many rings does Westbrook have, right? How many times was he named unanimous MVP? Exactly, you know what I mean? But Steph Curry, man, when it came to time to renegotiate the team's contracts, they was like, hey, Steph, we're not going to be able to give you what he was like, man, just keep the team together. Just keep the team together. Let's keep winning with this, right? So I give it up for, you know, not only the style of play, and to your point, he changed the game because this man's shooting from logos. I mean, there's YouTube clips of other team members like, why don't you hit one from the logo and I hit one from, and he just kind of laugh it off. But then the next play, he's busting from the logo, right? Okay, so, but the other one is LeBron, you know what I mean? Because in this era now, like his off-court antics is matching up with his on the team antics. I'm not even going to like discredit what happened with the Lakers, because I think they should have kept them youngsters that they had going on and whatnot.
Yeah.
And bringing all those big stars to the team, I just didn't think it was going to work, and the proof is in the pudding and whatnot. But you can't deny that man's athleticism. But as far as a player moving forward for life after basketball and life in basketball and speaking out, you know, he's doing this thing. You know what I mean? I don't even think Jordan, as influential as he was, has an impact on the media in terms of voicing his opinion, what's going on with Black people and so forth. It has the impact that LeBron does. So that's my three right there. Like all the other ones y'all named, oh, Wilt came to mind, no problem. Shaquille, definitely. Alvin Iverson, man, that cat was liver than live, man, you know. But I just looked at it in like most influential in today's time, Jordan, Steph, and LeBron.
Okay, I ain't mad at that, man.
One other note, Greg, before we go. Thank Allen Iverson for not patenting the little sleeve, the little.
Oh, he'd be rich right now. He'd be a billionaire right now.
Iverson was cutting up socks, sweatpants, or whatever he was cutting up the stockings.
Just to have the little sleeve.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Allen Iverson invented that. He just he's too bad he didn't get it patented. He would have been rich. He'd been richer than rich right now.
Well, on that note, isn't he the reason why they made him?
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. He was the innovator and why they made him.
Why they made him wear suits though, right? Because he was a little too thugalicious for him.
I guess, but
I don't know what the dress code is now. You
It ain't no dress code
I
now.
know they changed it, but when
It
I
ain't no
Man,
dress
look,
code now.
we ain't gonna
It
talk
ain't no
about the
dress
dress
code.
code right now. Let me
Ain't
go
no dress
ahead.
code.
but when
Go ahead and
For a
run
while,
through my three.
For a while, they did make them wear suits.
they made him wear suits because Iverson was coming. He looked like Jamil Holloway on the sideline of OU, man. He had braids, chains, you know,
Man.
he looked like he
Let
was
me go
going to go do a
ahead.
rap concert, man.
Well, let's go ahead, little G. Architect,
Let
get
me,
it in.
let me
Yeah,
go ahead and
what
run
you
through my
got?
three, man. Look, number one, and Pops can allude to this. He's the reason why I even became a basketball fan. Allen Iverson, man. Look, I had the shoes, I had the headband. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got videotapes of me playing in basketball games, trying to be like Allen Iverson. You know what I'm saying? Mid-range game, all of that. Like Allen Iverson is the reason why I became a basketball fan. I remember back in 01 when he stepped over what's that boy named Tyronn
Tyronn
Lue, and I was sitting there like, oh, like on my, like, you know, in my head as a youngster, Allen Iverson's the only man I've ever seen sitting courtside getting his hair braided by his mama. Like, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? He had the tattoos. He made everything look cool. He made
Delicious,
basketball.
man.
He made basketball to me as a young kid growing up. He made basketball fun. He's like, I'm gonna do me no matter what, regardless of him talk about, oh, I don't care about practice, whatever. Like at the end of the day, like that man played with his heart. You know what I'm saying? That right there is an instance where that man he had Kobe's mentality on the court, just not off the court. You know what I'm saying?
I think
as far as I'm gonna do whatever I can to win. Because if you look at that 76ers team, hell yeah, ain't no way in hell they should have been in the finals. I don't care. Like looking back, being an adult now, ain't no way in hell that team should have been in the finals. Granted, let alone win one game. Allen Iverson's my number one. Number two, I gotta go with Wilt Chamberlain, man. I as a Warriors fan, I've done my own little research on Wilt Chamberlain. Regardless of what he did off the court, because we all know what he famous for.
Well, with the ladies, we'll had to lay off.
Mr. 20,000
ain't got nothing on me.
Mr. 20,000.
It was Mr. 10,000. That nigga dick would have fell off. He did 20.
Like Magic ain't got nothing.
But no, you feel me? But like real talk. Wilt Chamberlain, they said they had a video. I remember I watched this video back in like 8th grade.
They call him Wilt the Stilt for nothing.
You know what I'm saying? That man used to jump from the free throw line just to hit a free throw. They had to make a rule. They made a goaltending rule for Wilt. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch more. You know what I'm saying? I think Wilt's definitely my number two. And number three, alluding to Big Shan's point, LeBron James, man, just for what he does, is not just as a pure basketball player, but as the business aspect, man. LeBron James, man, he turned himself into the biggest brand arguably in the world. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. Granted, I give it to Jordan for doing his thing. I give it to Kobe and all these other players for trying to build a brand. But LeBron seems to has perfected it. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, he not only has his, his own brand as LeBron James. This man built a school. He's in movies. He's executive producing things. Like his hand is in any and everything as far as the business aspect and furthering yourself life after basketball. And I think as far as being an athlete, and the story of most athletes, once they get their big money, they go broke. He's making it to where like he's showing you. And this man never went to college. He graduated high school. He been playing professional basketball since he was 18 years old, and has had the business aspect as far as when I'm done, not only is my legacy gonna be solidified, but my name as far as not being a statistic in the basketball world of being another broke basketball player. That man had his business mindset far and beyond anybody I've ever seen in the NBA, whether that be including Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Because not even Michael Jordan has done what LeBron James has done off the court. Michael Jordan has shoes, he has Space Jam. LeBron James got 1,000,001 other things. You know what I'm saying? So I think that those three are my top three influential. You know what I'm saying? And that's that.
Hey, but I will say this though, Shaq is second to me in terms of like off-court business and whatnot, because Shaq got his hand in everything. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah,
if
100%.
LeBron got a little something from him. You know what I'm saying?
He probably did. 100%. He probably did.
Yeah,
nice to see
Shaq got his
that.
hands in everything too. But don't
Yeah,
forget about Wizard. Don't
Man.
forget about Wizard Kelly.
Man, Shaq got
Papa
goddamn
John's,
pregnancy
what?
tests,
You know,
man.
don't forget about Magic Johnson. Don't forget about Magic Johnson. He got his hands in everything too. That's Wizard Kelly.
Hey, look, when Papa John
yeah, that
got
is
in
Wizard
trouble
Kelly.
for all the black stuff, Shaq went in there and like, oh, a perfect opportunity for me to buy this, and I'll turn it around. No worries, man. You know, so
yes, good stuff, gentlemen. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. I like it. Next, we're gonna move on and talk about my man Kyrie Irving. I guess he could play in the city of New York now. That's what I heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Playoff time's coming. That's why, Gregory.
all of the money.
There's more than just that. You know what I mean? Architect. What you got on that, man?
Hey, man, look. I feel bad, but I, just real quick, not only just Kyrie, but the New York Yankees and the New York Mets players get to play. You know what I'm saying as well.
Wow. Still on the Thunder.
Yeah,
Still
you know, had to take a little bit.
I heard about that too.
You know what I'm saying? Had to reel it in. But no, I honestly look with the Nets, I think this is all bigger picture. I'm thinking bigger picture here, right? You look at the number 1 seed in Miami. I think the Nets right now are the 8th seed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You really think the Miami Heat, no, even though they have a solid team, I'm looking at Miami as like one of those college teams who have they have that good coach with the good morale and whatnot, and that one player who got heart. And I'm looking at Jimmy Butler. But then again, you look at the Nets. Kyrie can play at home. Kevin Durant's healthy. 2 of the greatest scorers in the league. At their positions, respectively, some of the greatest scorers at their positions. In 7-game series. You really think that he could beat what? Come on now, man. I'm just thinking as a basketball mind, this is just perfect timing. 1, for New York, specifically Brooklyn, to rake in that money. 2, we get to see Kyrie destroy Kyle Lowry. We get to see Kevin Durant destroy the Miami Heat's organization. Because nobody can stop Kevin Durant. And as we can see, when Kyrie's on fire, can't nobody stop him either. No matter what. And then Seth Curry, not even mentioning Seth Curry, who has come into his own. They don't even call him Stephen Curry's little brother anymore. They call him Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? That's 3-headed monster. You have one of the best shooters in the league, 2 of the greatest scorers in the league. I haven't even mentioned Ben Simmons yet. You know why? Because I think people are down Ben Simmons so much for the simple fact of the matter that they haven't seen this man play since his little debacle in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Ben Simmons is going to fit into a perfect role. All he has to do is pass and play defense. That's all he has to do.
On that, man.
Steve Nash is basically going to put him in a role where when Steve Nash is playing for the Suns. Pass, play defense, occasionally get to the basket. Granted, Steve Nash can shoot.
And he didn't play defense.
Okay. Well, he didn't play defense. He hid.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. Ben Simmons, first off, you can't hide a 6'10" Australian. But on top of that, Ben Simmons, he's a hell of a defender. He can literally guard 1 through 5, no matter what.
All defensive team.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what Steve Nash and the Nets organization were waiting on. 1, for Kyrie to be, you know what I'm saying? 1, for Kyrie to be like, okay, they got the clear for him to play home games. 2, Ben Simmons, you know what I'm saying? I'm reading in the comments right now. He's mentally weak, but at the same time, I feel like him being on a team where you have so many alphas, I feel like that's gonna rub off on him just enough to where he can be like, all right, I could do a little something. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So yeah, I think the Nets, man. I think we're gonna be in store for a solid surprise for the Nets, man.
All right, Big Shane, what you got on that, man?
Man, I think like it's one of those things you follow the money, man. You know what I mean? Like it might be an election year coming up in New York. I don't know. You know what I mean? When you sit back and have a mandate that, you know, if you're unvaccinated or whatever the case is, you can't play in your hometown, but visitors can and whatnot, it's not making you any money. You know what I mean? The baseball team, they just baseball just finished working out the strike details, so there's no strike. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but Brooklyn's in a situation to be in the race, you know, and you're holding back one of their key players over some BS, and you're keeping the city from making money. I mean, it don't make sense. So of course they had to lift that, man. Of course they have to lift that. But, you know, as far as Ben Simmons is concerned, I'm a fan, but I don't think he's necessarily going to be a factor. You know, like I think Kyrie is one of the few alpha males on there, because I think Kevin's kind of like, well, I hope you just pass me the ball. You know what I mean? And he get offended when you don't recognize his role. I don't think he takes the role, but I'm not going to take away any credit as to the powerhouse that they are. And then as far as the Heat being a factor, man, they just had an explosive argument where Butler and the coach got into it. You know what I mean? And you can't have that. But I know what Butler's trying to do, because Butler's that cat that he wants to lead by force, so to speak. And he wants to be kind of like LeBron to, like, you know, be a coach on the floor as well. But he doesn't have the finesse or the skill set like LeBron. He's a great player, but it's just like, bro, you got to know when to play your role and whatnot. And that can kind of hurt the organization. So right now, I think I hate to say it, but they sitting pretty, man. And now Kyrie's like, oh, man, I'm about to show y'all what I've been trying to do, man. In front of my hometown, too. Let's go.
Okay. Okay, I ain't mad at that. You know what I mean? Laker Mike, Raider Mike, Sports Talk Mike, what you got?
The Brooklyn Mike.
All Mike.
We're going to say.
Five Mics, Mike.
We're going to say is Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn.
I don't, like Lil G just said, I second that. I don't think Miami Heat is going to be too happy if they got to face the Brooklyn Nets in the first round, because I don't think they can beat them in a game, in a 7-game series. Not with the best player on the planet in Kevin Durant, and not with the best. Probably Kyrie's maybe he's not the best scorer, but he can get his shot off on anybody. He could take anybody to the basket.
He's a top five
at any time. He is a top 5. Nobody can stop Kyrie from getting to the rim. Nobody. So I'm gonna put it like that. Kevin Durant can't get to the rim like Kyrie can. Nobody can. Nobody can finish at the rim. He's the greatest finisher in NBA right now. As far as going to the rim, he's the greatest.
I think NBA history, personally.
I would say in history too, because he's got the best handles. He got the best handles since Curly Neal of the Harlem Globetrotters. And if you ever seen that, you know what I'm talking about, Greg. Right. That's where Curry and all of them stole some of that dribbling game from him. So best believe that. So we got to pay homage to Curly Neal. God rest his soul. You know, he's deceased now. But anyway, he the one who changed the game, the dribbling game. But my thing is Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And don't forget about they got Andre Drummond and Ben Simmons. Don't discredit Andre Drummond, because he can get you 18 and 12. He's going to get you them rebounds, and he's going to play defense. You know what I'm saying? And block a few shots. I think, you know, like I said, and I'm going to stick to my guns about the Brooklyn Nets. I just feel as long as they're healthy, they are a threat to anybody in the East, anybody in the NBA in the East, anybody who's in the East during conference, we're going to have to look out, and they better beware, because I just think if Ben Simmons can come in and do like Lil G said, and I believe that's what his role is going to be. He's not going to be coming there to ask to score 20 points. But he's going to get some points. He's going to score, but his role will be to play defense, get some rebounds, and dish the ball, whatever. But I am very strong on the Knicks about that. I think that they, like I said, they got rid of this little thing because it was money. Because they said somebody went to the mayor and said, "Hey, I heard you're not too popular these days."
He said, "Oh, what? Kyrie, he can play."
Right. Kyrie is in. The Yankees are in. The Mets are in. He said everybody's in. You know what I'm saying? He lifted
Oprah.
Gregory,
he said Gregory,
he lifted that to get that popularity thing, to get that money. Because you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the money. He thought about it like Kirby said. Oh, that money. Oh man, can't miss out on that. So that's my take on it. I ain't gonna say more.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. First off, I want to do this. I want to give Kyrie Irving a round of applause because he was being, just think, people, there are people all around the world who have the choice to take the jab or not take the jab. You know what I'm saying? Depending on their job, the job's going to fire them, this, that, and other, all kind of stuff going on. That man stuck to his guns the whole time. He was getting blamed for Brooklyn losing. They're blaming him for like bringing Harden over, you know what I mean, and being with KD. They blame him for being an orchestrator of getting that team together and be like, you know what I mean? Yeah, leather wig head wearing cats like Stephen A. talking about take the jam. Go ahead and get it. Do it. You're not special. Just get it done. And you know what I mean? And that cat, to his credit, he didn't say nothing. He just kept like sticking to his guns. And you know what I mean? I love that cat for that, man. I love somebody who has principles and morals and sticks to them. So for that, he gets a round of applause from me. And as far as Mayor Adams, New York, he should have been lifted, you know what I mean, the mandates because fans have been able to come into the games unvaccinated. Kyrie was able to sit on the damn bench.
I was just about to say that.
Play.
I was just about to say that.
He wasn't jabbed up. And then other people was able to come in and play and not be freaking.
Wait, mind you, Kyrie was sitting on the bench with no mask.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I've seen that.
So you got all that, right? But what really changed the tide is guess what? Aaron Judge, he wouldn't be able to play in 81 home games. Anthony Rizzo, who they also signed big money, he can't play in 81 home games. You know what I mean? And you know, there are people who are American homebred cats who go to baseball games and they're going to be like, hey, Mickey Ficky, we need our best players on the field and we can't have them. So it's not a coincidence to me that before baseball season starts, that these mandates are lifted. And, you know, that's what it is. Kyrie, I'm glad that both the seasons kind of coincided to where they had to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like New York would have been in the uproar had Judge, Rizzo, and Kyrie not been able to participate in sports. They're trying to go for championships. Not going to happen. Like Shan said earlier, follow the money. Right. In the money.
Correct. No, it must be money.
Look, it's probably an election year, though. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Deion said.
I remember that scene in Ghostbusters. Mayor, you will have saved thousands of voters. Right?
Hey, man. Before we go on to the next subject, I got to get this off. And I'm saying when Stephen A. Smith look in the mirror, he sees Gollum from Lord of the Rings, man, because that man cannot have a soul. He tries to push that shit on athletes like, take the jab. You know you need to do it. And then Kyrie's not a hero for what he did. He didn't stand for nothing. He's nobody. I'm like, bro, why are you so mad?
You know,
why are you so mad?
Think about it. That's how Stephen A. That's how he built his career.
Right. I was gonna say, you know, it's funny that you say that.
Hold up, man. Hold on. Before you can't tell somebody what to do with their body. You know what I'm saying? I understand decision making. You can have an opinion on someone's decision making. You can have a decision on someone's point of view, all that. But man, ain't nobody in this world gonna tell me what to do with my own body. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. But so I don't understand why you're gonna be mad at what somebody else does with their body. I don't get that.
Well, here's the thing, like to Architect's point, that's his little career move, because when Aaron was just like, I'm not vaccinated, I just looked into it and took my own cocktail. Then Stephen A was just like, okay, but Kyrie just finds a reason not to play. And then he turned around and said, but Kyrie's getting picked on because he's a black man. You know, now Aaron's doing it and it's the same thing. And I'm like, bro, where do you stand? You know what I'm saying? So he's like a bandwagon there. So I don't take him serious, man. because
He
of
don't
that.
stand nowhere. He bend over for his boss.
That's what I'm saying. Where he was at with the Kyrie thing, I'm like, bruh, are you defending him because he's a black man? He don't want to take it, but now, you know, because Aaron came out, like, what are you saying, dude? Like, I said, bro, just stop talking, man.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And speaking of that, because that's slave mentality, let's move on to the slave plantation. Let's talk about Cap. His article where he is comparing the NFL to a slave plantation. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of poignant, especially coming off the conversation we're just talking about with someone who had a leather wig on talking slave points. You know what I'm saying? Big Shay, everybody read the article. What you think about that, man?
I read the article, and I actually watched the show that the article was alluding to. You know, I think sometimes, and just hear me out. I think that we forget that, like, the NFL is corporate America. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, if we want to go work at a job, we're not going to get that high paying job unless we got a college degree. And then second is just like, what college did you come from? Are you from an Ivy League or whatever? And then on top of that, it's just like, are you lineage? Oh, your father went to Harvard and you went to Harvard. Oh, you one of them good, bro. You know the rules and whatnot, you know. So in terms of, I don't think he's far off, you know, like, hey, does he run a 4.4 time and this and that, all that? That's to be said. But the whole thing about breaking down your spirits, man, I stopped playing football because you called me to see how I was doing after my injury. Then you handed the phone to Ironside, and he turned around and said, hey, Shan, the surgery couldn't wait. And then later on, he apologized to me and said, you know what, I didn't mean it to come out like that, but you have to think about my point of view. When you went down, you were playing offense and defense, and you were on specialty teams, so I lost 3 players. And I was like, Coach, I almost lost my finger. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I agree wholeheartedly with Kaepernick. You know, that's what it is. But for me, it's a bigger picture that this is corporate America, and everybody says the system's broke. It's not broke. It's exactly the way they designed it. You know what I mean? All men are created equal unless they're black. You know what I mean? And then they're like, well, if you want to play in this game, here's the rules for you. There's a little different for you because we don't know if you have the mental capacity. And it's just like, bruh, even when you outlawed us from having education, we still rose to the occasion. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? When you outlawed us from education, we invented stuff that saved your lives. I could go on the list from Charles Drew, you know, to Eli Whitney, to the guy. The actual stop sign is invented by a black man. The electrical stop sign, go or not. You know, that's so simple. You know what I mean? The stoplight, I'm sorry. But it's just like, you know, they still think that we don't have that mental capacity. But in reality,
don't get me started.
They just jealous of us. And it's just like, look, we just want to play your game and have our kids live not even as good as your kids, but just have a fair chance. You know what I mean? So I'm not mad at him for alluding to that. Like, I watched the whole series, and that was pretty much what it was about, what he was going through in the NFL thing. And I'm like, man, that's America, man.
Hey, I like that. I like that. You bringing a little heat tonight, huh, boy? I like that, man.
Yeah.
Man, you know, man, like that corporate America thing, it's just like, man, look, once we stop judging color and sex, we will get to this greatest America that they talk about having. You know what I'm saying? But while they sit back and find reasons not to include us or keep us discriminated based off sex, color, religion, or whatnot, it's never going to be that America. And the only reason why this America is that great is because
you're doing it in. You're going overtime.
Okay. You want some big bucks? Make some big bucks.
I'm good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm saying,
I thought you was about to start beatboxing and making a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to make some big bucks? Let's see how knowledgeable you are.
Good point, Big Shay.
Calm my nerves on that one, man.
That was on the head.
Laker, Raider, Mike, what you got on that?
Well, like I said, the system was designed broke already, man. They wasn't short. They wasn't too far from the way that they interview these players, the way they examine these players. They want to check and see that, they check the IQ, football IQ, they check the IQ, they check how big your arms are, how big your legs are, how big your feet are. Then they want to go to the hands. If your hand's small, you can't hold something. You know what I'm saying? You can't, let me hold something. You can't hold nothing, your hand's too small. Can't hold that football in it when it's cold out there in the winter, when you get hit, the ball's coming out it's gonna pop out like a baby, pop out in the hips. Go up like a baby. Right. So anyway, but my point, they ain't far off on that, because you watch the Mandingo movie. The only thing that they haven't done is told you is say, Negro, drop your drawers, let me just weigh your ball. That's the only thing that they missing. If they were to do that, man, I would just walk out of I'll be through with the NFL for that. I'll be filing for lawsuit after lawsuit. They say, we want to see how these motherfuckers weigh. We'll put them in their hand.
Hey, don't think on the under, they don't be doing that, man.
No, they probably do. Why you think they got in the physical? They put their hand down there and
said talking about some cough.
They want to say you cough. They just want to see if you got the girth on your sack.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? It's bad though, man. It really is, man. Yeah. The only difference is that we could read and write and all this stuff now when we couldn't back then. We had to sneak and learn. You know what I'm saying? Some of the good old boys would teach them. They get caught. They caught a beat down for teaching somebody how to read.
Yep. Exactly.
But the NFL is not far off with the slavery thing, and I agree with Colin Kaepernick 100%, because it's like you're just like a piece of meat to them. We're just like a piece of property that they're borrowing for a while until they get tired of us, until we get used up. Just like the slaves, when they had the slaves fighting, when in the tooth and claw matches and fighting in the damn living room, they use that slave, that good, strong, big, black, humongous slave. They used him up until he couldn't fight no more. And then what did they do with him after they did that? That one movie, he didn't want to fight no more. They turned the dogs loose on it. They turned dogs loose on this man in 12 Years a Slave. Man, that hurt my heart to even watch that. I couldn't watch that because I was like, that's what the NFL reminds me of. As soon as you can't play no more, you can't fight anymore. If all the fight is out of you. And the perfect prime example is Cam Newton. I love Cam. And I just hated that he just got that slave mentality done to him. I don't care what nobody say. Cam didn't get the calls that all these quarterbacks out. Yeah, he's 6'6", 250 pounds. They can take a beating. They say he's a man. They consider Cam the prime number one Mandingo. Cam Newton was Mandingo. He was Ken Norton in the movie. If you didn't see the Mandingo movie, Cam Newton was Cam Norton. Like on the with the clumps when the granny was fantasizing. She was fantasizing about Ken Norton when the stripper man walked in. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, my thing is and Colin Kaepernick brought this to light, and they don't like it. I don't care. I love Colin Kaepernick is an icon. I don't care if he ever played another down of football. I don't. What he's doing right now is bigger than football. I love it because Black people we need to put them on notice. We need to put the folks on notice that we're human beings just like you guys are. We play baseball better than you do. We play basketball better. We play football better. Damn, we lay down
better than you.
We may lay down, we lay down pipe better. But that could be the negotiable because there's a substance to the rule. There's a guys that it's not just us. Say everybody can handle. You know what I'm saying? He said, hold on. But everybody can handle. You talk about John Holmes or whatever they want to talk about him, but they can handle. But we'll just leave that one alone. But to my point is that's how I feel like it's like a slave trade still, just like how they used to do back in segregation when it was slavery in the South. And when you do something bad, they take you out and back and whip you with the whip. But now they just all they do is suspend you.
They take your money.
They take your money from you. Take some money from you.
You get 22 women to file civil.
And then you talk about that happened to you. And then that's what they want to do is say, just let you know that nigga, we in charge. I'm gonna tell you this. The last thing I'm gonna say is, when Joe Clark said HNIC, they said that don't work. Rule that doesn't work here. They said that head in charge is not here. It's the head. This the headmaster is in charge here.
Right.
And you
fall in line, or this whip will be on your behind. You looking me in the eyes, boy? Don't you eyeball
it's
me.
kind of the same thing. So I just feel that Kaepernick is a hell of a human being for sticking his neck out. And I'm proud to, that makes you really be proud to be Black. You should, all you young Black kids and all you Black people, period, should be proud to be Black, to be a Black American because of what Kaepernick is doing for you guys right now. Y'all need to pay homage to him because he ain't playing anymore because of that. But that's all I got to say.
All right, I like that. Architect, what you got on that, man?
I'm gonna just keep it like strictly to the combine as far as what the article was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really look at it, you look at the combine like everybody alluded to. You look at they're measuring your size, speed, and athleticism. It's what they used to do on the slave trade, man. They stand you up on this little woods thing in front of a bunch of people, and they're like, "Okay, this one does this, this, and this. Who wants them?" Basically, only difference between the draft and the slave trade is, who got the number one pick. And it's really not even that, because at that point it's like, who got the most money to spend? You know what I'm saying? I think all in all, I think what Colin Kaepernick is doing as far as wanting to shed light on what the NFL is and how the NFL moves, I think is great. As far as what it's going to do, as far as going further, I think people are still, we're still gonna have those. We're gonna be having these conversations, I feel like, for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a major change happening anytime soon, and that's just the reality of it. As a young man, I see kids younger than me who are still like, "Oh, I can't wait to get to the combine. I can't wait to get to the NFL, whatever, NBA, MLB, whatever," without them even knowing, you know what I'm saying? Of course, they heard about what Kaepernick's doing. They hear about all what, some of these players are doing as far as furthering, empowerment, not just only as a Black man, but as a professional athlete. But I don't think they'll really understand it until they get into it themselves. It's kind of like looking at a rapper in a 360 deal. You don't read the contract, you just see the money. You know what I'm saying? I think, I think it's going to take more of a group of people. It's going to take more of a group effort, but I don't think anybody's going to want to give up what they have because of where they possibly have came from.
I tell you like this, Young G, like real quick, I think what we don't understand our value, and I'll tell you somebody who did and kind of changed it up real quick, was Bo Jackson, because he told them, "I don't want to play for this team over here based off how the coach came at him." And they were like, "Oh, well, this is the draft. This is how it goes." He's like, "Nah, I got skills. I'm gonna go play baseball." And he didn't play football. And then the Raiders was like, "Okay, come play." But once we know our value, we know our options.
Okay, that's a good point. Architect, you done with your point?
Yeah, I'm done with my point. That's basically all I was trying to say, man.
Let me wrap this up. Let me tie it up with a little bow. For me, we all know, you know what I'm saying, New York Stock Exchange was created to sell slaves. And when they would sell them, you know what I'm saying, that was like, chattel slavery, you know what I mean? When they would sell like a Black dude, like let's just say Laker Mike, you're up for sale, right? They say, "We have a pretty chocolate brother here. This brother can pick these weeds in 30 seconds. Look he got fast twitch muscles, and you know what I mean? He'll get from here to here to there to there real quick. His shuttle time is this. He can do this, that, and that." And they slot you in your position. They look at me. "We have a big Bluck here. He could pick 10,000 pounds in 1 week or whatever," and they slot me in my category. They look at Shan and they like, this guy, he can stud out 10,000 women and he can be that slot. And they look at G like, he's slender, he's quick, and he can do this. They put everybody in a position based off of your size, your weight, how quick you move, everything. And that's the point kind of Kaepernick was saying. But he was saying within that, he was also saying that they also, like Mike said, they check your intelligence. They do that. They want to know your IQ.
That's
But then
that
they also,
Wonderlic shit, right?
yeah, exactly. It's for quarterbacks. They want to strip your dignity, you know what I'm saying? And they want to make sure that you understand where you are,
Right.
that you're subservient and we're the masters. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody who really wants to take a deep dive into this, for anybody viewing, you know what I'm saying? Pick up the book. It's an old book. You know what I'm saying? This is old news. Kaepernick isn't saying anything new. There's a book called $40 Million Slave, written by William C. Roden. You know what I'm saying? And it'll explain all this stuff. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It is a plantation. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, what is there to be mad at? Because people who go into it, they know what it is. But for them, everybody, I understand the mentality. The mentality is like, whatever. I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to take care of my family with the money I make with my body. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I work a 9-to-5 job, and that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? Everybody here is doing what they need to do to take care of their family. So but these players, that's what they're doing, and they know what it is. Okay, you measuring my size of my thighs, you measuring my arms, you measuring my hands. You know what I'm saying? You're timing how fast I run, how high I jump. Bruh, it's no different than slavery. Like you said in Django, got two motherfuckers fighting in the living room, bruh.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
what I
saying?
said.
To
They
the
was
death.
right in the living room. That's
Okay.
courtside. That's couch side seats.
Exactly. I'm like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? You choke him out, man. You hit him over the head with a hammer, you get you a cold beer and a piece of tail. You know what I'm saying? That's the purse. Instead of getting that, you're getting $40 million. You know what I'm saying? So I give Kaepernick where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Later on, who knows if he's making news about doing something different, we'll take a deeper dive into what he got going on. But for now, we're coming to the payoff. My man, Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? Had a nice little presser, you know, this week and introduced himself. So, Big Shan, what do you think about Deshaun, his press conference, what he got going on, his future, all his prospects, man?
Man, well, his future prospects. I mean, he has to play the game to a degree of what we were just coming off of. You know what I mean? And it was interesting that what's their GM, Barry, and then their coach. I don't remember the coach's name, but the whole preference, you know, before Deshaun got to say anything, was about their due diligence of what they did. You know what I mean? You know, they hired a third party attorney. You know, they don't want to make light of the situation, huh?
Third party investigators.
Yeah, even investigator and an attorney. You know what I mean? Because
So they hired attorneys, but they hired third party investigators.
Oh, well, I thought from the interview, but anyhow, it was just like we want to kind of separate ourselves, but at the same time, you know, we want to make sure we dug into this. And even when they were talking to Deshaun, they were asking him questions like, not like, what are you bringing to the organization and this and that. They were like, why did you have a ridiculously high number of massages? You know what I mean? And it was just like, what? Huh? You know what I'm saying? And then, but it was just kind of interesting to me because it's just like, look, man, the guy, Barry preferences the research that they put in. They're trying to be respectful to the women, and they're letting you know that, like, we're not making light of this situation. We're being respectful, even though, like, we talked about the text that he had and that came to light and whatnot. They didn't release that. They were like, look, man, you know, we talked to people that know Deshaun from the past. We looked into his character and whatnot, and we're not making light of these women's allegations and whatnot, but we feel comfortable moving forward that he's an okay guy. One of the reporters stood up and be like, so you say that, is this one of these things where it won't happen again? Or is it a thing that he's learned his lesson and won't happen again? Or you guys feel comfortable that he wasn't wrong in the situation? You know, they want to pigeonhole situations and whatnot. And for me, it's just like, look, man, I love women and whatnot. I respect everything, but at the end of the day, you know, everybody's capable of doing wrong. And if this is America and we all able to get a second chance and we go through the due process, why do we have to keep digging for the dirt? You know, like they're not going to put 230 million into this man guaranteed so he could be like, I got more money. You know what's your boy's name before Baker's Mayfield? What I can't remember his name, but he was a quarterback and he was highly sought after, and then all of a sudden he got in the NFL and started doing coke and just lost his mind partying and whatnot.
Johnny Manziel?
Yeah. You know, we don't hear nothing about him. You know, just came and went. You know what I mean? But like this was a 38-minute press conference, and the majority about it was like, are you guys respecting, you know, what these women are going through and all this and this and that? The majority wasn't about like, what is Deshaun bringing to the table? What is this and that? Like they had to make sure that everybody feels good about it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, you know, whatever it is was right, but something's amiss.
I feel you on that, man. You know, that's good points. You know, sports talk, Reddit talk, Baker talk. Mike,
well, like I said, my whole stand on this whole thing is, okay, yeah, you do have to respect the feelings of these women, but all these women's are lying. So I'm going to just keep it real and just stop playing around. Stop playing. Let's stop playing with the bull. Let's stop with the bullshit. They all lying. They all did this with the damn Texans, hooked them girls up to it, gave them some money to go on ahead and extort this man like this and try to assassinate this man's character. That's how I feel about that. And yeah, I don't feel sorry for none of them because they're lying. Let me just tell you that right now. Because if it was any truth to it, this man would be standing trial right now. You know what I'm saying? They just try to ruin a good man's reputation just because he didn't want to play for that team. Because they did not take the time out to tell them or what coach he was going to bring in. He didn't have any influence on that or any say so. That's what his gripe was. He didn't feel like he was a part of the organization's moves that they were making. And for him, that's nothing wrong with that if you're trying to be the leader of this football team. And I think he's a stand-up guy, and he was trying to be stand-up, and they said, motherfucker, sit your ass down. You know, you know what I'm saying? We said, sorry, excuse my French if any kids are listening, but you know.
Yeah,
but anyway, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like about Deshaun Watson. He about to set the league on fire, and I want to see him turn this league upside down. Come in this football season. And that's all I want to see Deshaun Watson to just do his thing the way he was just doing it. He's 100% healthy. He got 230 million reasons
230
and shine like Michael with the glitter socks on.
Guaranteed.
And that might be the problem.
That is let me finish now. Now you had your say. Got some other stuff to do now. I can't have you coming in there on the sideline. I'm the coach on the field. You stay on the sideline. Let me finish. Let the coach finish. Then you can come on in if you want to. But anyway, because I got something else to do. Anyway, the whole point is justice has been served. And like they said, we messed up. He wasn't the guy that we thought he was. He didn't do it. You know, that's what happened with this whole thing. They figured that out. These girls are lying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They messed up. You know, they did like Mel Burson said, they messed up. We told them not to try to offer them why we had them working for us. You know, he said, and then, you know, it's the owner's tree of the Texans, and he's sitting in it right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting in that shame that he knew they knew that wasn't right. It wasn't right to just assassinate that man's character. But anyway, I'm glad that I just wanted to be all done. I don't have nothing else to say about it. I personally don't want to talk about no more of them accusations. I don't want to talk about none of that. The man is free. He said, give us free. He's free.
Yes. Architect.
I'm gonna come at it purely. At a football aspect. You know what I'm saying? I did the press conference. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was basically gonna be like somewhat of a light interrogation, as far as why did they do this, what's their reasoning and going forward and whatnot. But I think purely as a football aspect, Deshaun Watson, man, I think, after him being sitting out for a year, you know what I'm saying? A year of not playing football, him getting back into it with a team. Basically, if you look at it, it's better. It's beyond better than what he had in Houston. You know what I'm saying? At least on paper. Outside of DeAndre Hopkins, who at the time was the number one receiver in the league. But I think Deshaun Watson, the football player, you know what I'm saying? All the allegations, whatever. Deshaun Watson, the football player, I think he is going to be truly happy. I think Cleveland has found a true franchise quarterback. I think they found an actual true leader in that locker room besides, a Myles Garrett, you know what I'm saying, who is the main vocal person on that defense. I don't know what he's like in the locker room, but even still, you look at Deshaun Watson when he was in Houston, you had even J.J. Watt alluding to him. And we all know the type of player that J.J. Watt once was, especially in what he means to Houston. So I think Deshaun Watson as a whole, this year, I think you should put the Cleveland Browns on your radar. I think you should put Deshaun Watson on your radar as far as MVP, top quarterback, a lot of accolades, because he's not only coming to prove Houston wrong, he's coming to set the league on fire. You know what I'm saying? I think Deshaun Watson, in my personal opinion, I think Deshaun Watson is a perfect quarterback, and that's all. And as far as football aspect, I think Deshaun Watson is going to be great next year. I think this press conference was just kind of more so to persuade the public versus the X's and O's, because I think the X's and O's, I think Deshaun Watson has that shit down pat. I think he's gonna be all right. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, I like that. Let me bring this home. Let me wrap it up, tie it up with a nice little tight little bow. Okay, let's go with the bullshit first. There are no charges criminally against this man. Zero. None. Zip. 22 women filed these civil cases. They're all represented by Houston Texans owner's best friend lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So take from that what you want. I personally go off of what I see, what I hear, and form my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back. Let's take it back to Clemson. That man was in the community. He was well loved. They thought he was the best thing since sliced bread. And he took Nick Saban to the fucking brink as a junior, and he beat his ass as a senior. Boom.
Talk about it.
Comes to Houston. Do you remember when fucking Hurricane Katrina hit? And remember those workers that work for the Houston Texans? There was a player on the Houston Texans that spent his whole first fucking paycheck and gave it to the workers that worked for the damn Texans because they were displaced. Who was that? Oh, yeah, it was Deshaun Watson. Good guy.
Hurricane Katrina?
Not what's that other one after that?
You talking about the tornado in Oklahoma?
Hurricane Harvey?
Nah, it was a hurricane.
Hurricane
It had to
Harvey.
be Hurricane Harvey then.
Harvey. Hurricane Harvey. That man, there was like a bunch of workers. I mean, it's not a racial thing because most of them were Hispanic, I believe. That man gave his paycheck, bruh, and made sure that he gave it to them. So good guy type shit. Nobody told him to do that. It's not like his agent was like, hey, Deshaun, give you a check. He did that shit. He was raised by a single mom. You know what I'm saying? So all throughout his career, all he displayed was being a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the caveat. He's a young man. He's 20, maybe say at this time, 23, 24, when he's getting all these massages, whatnot. Let's just say a young 6'4" in shape, African-American male at the top of his game, doing whatever the hell he wants to, anytime he wants to do it. would it be beneath him to try to bang out everything in sight? You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like,
because I
look,
would.
this is the thing, bruh. We're from the Bay Area. We got different rules. We attack things differently. Me, I ain't paying for shit.
Because we
And
pee.
I'm damn sure
You know what I'm
I
saying?
make sure I'm not getting down like he's getting down. You know what I'm saying? But him, he's a country boy from Georgia. So, you know, maybe he's listening. Maybe he listening to Lil Wayne, and, you know what I mean? They ain't tricking if you got it type shit. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he's getting down. But the one thing, you know, I took for this press conference he did, he adamantly said, you know, when cats are kind of guilty, they stray away from saying anything definitively. But he was like, I did not assault any women and I did not disrespect any women. He said that shit multiple times.
Absolutely.
So which tells me at some point you got to stand on that. You can't lie about that shit. If you say it one time, if you say it multiple times, you're gonna have to stand on it. And the fact that he said that and his reputation is that of a good guy, I tend to believe him. So from that perspective, I take it like, and his track record of just being a good dude and everybody in every single community saying this guy's a good guy. I'm like, all right, he's just a horny motherfucker. He had some moments, you know what I'm saying, to where he was just hitting everything in sight. Maybe some females didn't appreciate it because he wasn't getting back to them. And, you know, they're like, oh, I'm coming to do your massage this week. He's like, actually, I got somebody else coming to do it. Man, thank you for your services last week type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it seems like to me. And that's why even in the press conference, they're like, so you about to settle with all these women? He's like, no, I'm going to clear my name. You know what I'm saying? So that tells me the fact that he's standing on it that much, you know what I'm saying? I can appreciate that. And I must mention, he did look like a freaking hooker in church at the press conference. He was nervous as hell, but to be expected, you know what I mean? If you're getting accused of all the shit you're being accused of. But I think he's going to be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Going forward, he knows he got to go through the gauntlet. This is the shit. And the fact that he stood up at the press conference in front of these people and have to take all the arrows. You know what I'm saying? He had to sit there and take it. I'll take that, man. You know what I mean? He stood up. Kudos to him. You know what I mean? And with that, I said we're gonna wrap this thing up. I'll let everybody sign off. Do your thing, gentlemen.
He just said, why you wanna play a hate on me? That's all I can say about Deshaun Watson. That's all he's saying. Why you play
The little
the hate on me?
Boy, man.
But anyway, signing off. This is your boy Raider Mike. That's all I gotta say about that whole thing. I'm out.
Man, look, another good show, gentlemen. Appreciate you, Big Shan, signing off, man. We need to do deeper dives on different days.
Yeah, man, it's your boy, the young architect. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share to all major platforms.
Yes. Once again, I'm your gracious host, Big G. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we appreciate everyone for tuning in. You know, we always try to keep it around an hour, but we can't because we do so well at talking at these subjects. But you know what I mean? We never make an hour and 43 minutes seem so sweet. It's like sweet music. But we'll try to keep it shorter, you know what I mean? But, you know, if the conversation goes longer a little bit, as long as it's good, entertaining, we'll do it. But like, share, subscribe. See you again next week. Peace, two fingers.
Fall asleep, you might miss a little bit of it, but you wake up, you're still on. So you don't miss nothing.
You feel me?